Money, more specifically your money. In the last year, more and more of you have been getting your money earlier in the week, your payday moving up from Friday to Thursday, for some of you, even Wednesday. And yes, we're about to explain why this is or isn't happening to you. But first, Kent, all credit to the Star Tribune for starting this conversation earlier this morning.
Yeah, it got us talking, right, Jana?
Yeah.
As that article pointed out, this change has been driven by banks, not employers. In the last year, big banks like Wells Fargo, Chase, and Huntington have started giving all their direct deposit customers early access to their money. So have local credit unions like Truestone and Affinity Plus. But it turns out other factors come into play as well here.
When Affinity Plus Credit Union launched Early Pay last May, they joined a growing list of banks offering services with similar names and the same general premise. If you have direct deposit, they automatically give you access to your money a day or two before they get it.
At least from Affinity Plus's perspective, this was something that we could do that was going to impact the most of the most right away.
Jackie Tweet says nearly 93% of U.S. workers use direct deposit, and that reliability is also why banks like hers face little risk providing early access.
How does it work?
Typically, we at the financial institution receive the information for the deposit before we receive the funds. So rather than just kind of sit on that information, we're just posting the funds early to our members' accounts. I think the first day that we did it, we posted something like $60 million early to members' account, and nobody has to do anything.
But keep in mind, that doesn't guarantee an early payday. Jackie says only about 50% of Affinity customers currently get their money early, and the timing isn't up to them.
Posting early is really dependent on when we get that information from the employer.
So if people have questions and they're like, hey, I'm not seeing this, they should almost talk to their employer about when they're sending that info?
Yeah, or encourage their employer to talk to, whoever processes their payroll. Yep.
And no matter who you're talking to, experts say it's a topic of conversation that's destined to grow louder in the years to come.
In many cases, a lot of these financial institutions are saying, why wouldn't we do this? There's so much competition for the banking and financial industry that if you're not heavy on the tech side, you're probably losing clientele at this point.
Shannon Foreman, founder and CEO of Forethought Planning, says the change has potential to help those living paycheck to paycheck avoid costly fees and high interest loans.
We hope that this might be an element that would close wealth gaps, income gaps, things like that, that help move individuals forward into having a healthy, sustainable foundation for their finances.
But for that to happen, she says, more than just your payday has to change.
It comes down to our behaviors. So is your behavior going to change from Friday to Wednesday? And if you are a saver or an investor or a splurger, giver, saver, whatever it might be that you identify with, it's important that you understand your personal financial behaviors.
Though many banks have embraced early direct deposit, not all of them have. And if that applies to you, you're probably wondering what the holdup is. Only they can answer that, of course, but Jackie says it's likely because it does require some significant system upgrades in some cases, which translates, of course, Jana, to time.
Kent, I'm curious, what was your biggest takeaway from this? Because I'm just curious about if I get paid Wednesday instead of Friday, how would that change my behavior?
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to what she was saying, what Shannon was saying, right? If it gives you an opportunity to plan ahead a little bit, you maybe need to do your budgeting not on a Friday, but on a Wednesday. It might give you a little bit more time. Sometimes, too, if you're trying to pay all those bills, as many people know, when that first comes, there's a lot of things that can stack up. So if that, depending on the timing of your paycheck, that's where that stress can come in. That's where this can alleviate some of that. Just those few days can really make a big difference. We don't have to tell a lot of people that, though.
Yeah, it makes sense. Thanks, Kent. Well, your money may be coming sooner for some of you, but if you're in the market for a new credit card, that might come later. Some credit card companies are reporting that replacing cards or getting new ones out to people is taking a lot longer. It's because of that issue we've talked about for years now, the computer chip shortage that hit us during the pandemic. That made it hard for credit card makers to get the chips that go in your card because most likely the automakers came before them. Nowadays, though, some people are waiting because of this reason to get their cards by as much as 2 months.